website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, I'm using my ear here and some arpeggios to play these things, but the big revelation of this video here is that you don't need any particular theoretical knowledge. You don't even have to know what chords are in the background when you're playing. You don't need to learn a bunch of arpeggio shapes. If you have your A minor scale down in any position, you can start playing like this, because it's a matter of finding the right notes. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to absolutely, over some weeks, train your ear without having to do boring ear training exercises. Train your ear to finding the right notes. And you can start today, and you can absolutely take just a little shape and really get it down to the level where, wow, I'm playing melodies here that really sound like I know what I'm doing, because I am. So let's get started. I'm in the key of A minor here. And A minor, the A minor scale, has 7 different notes, and that means that you can derive 7 different chords from that scale by simply taking one note and then skipping a note until you have 3 notes. So you go right, and the next one, and so on. I'm not going to go into detail about that. Just for now, we have the A minor scale. We have its 7 different chords that all come from that scale. They all share the same notes of that same 7-note scale. Okay, so, and that means we're in the key of A minor, basically. That's what that means. So, right here, I was playing the A minor, then the D minor. Again, same notes from the same scale. Not the same notes as A minor, but it comes from the same scale. And then G major. Also notes from the A minor scale. Then the F major. And then the E major, which makes us go from A minor or A natural minor to A harmonic minor, but we're not going to go into that little detail as well, because we want to focus on how to learn to play up against these chords without knowing anything about them. So let's start with just the first one here and the second. And this is the challenge that I'm describing here, because once you go from the pentatonic that basically fits over all the chords in the background but sound a little, right? We want a Spanish sound here. And so we're using the A minor scale. But if I just pick one random note from the A minor scale for these 2 chords only use notes from the A minor scale, right? But I can't use every note. So let me just pick a random note like the F. Us. It's good over D minor, but not so much over A. It's good again there. Good. Dissonant. Right? Pick another note. Good over A minor. Kind of interesting over D minor, but I can use it over both chords. Let me pick the A here, 5th fret. That's pretty good over both chords because it's part of both chords, right? It's the 5th of D, I think, yeah, and it's the root of A. Right? So that's just this is like this with every chord. So if you have a bunch of chords whipping by in the background in one key, you'll find that the 7 different notes in the scale doesn't really fit every chord. And that's where this little technique, this little practice routine comes in. Because what you do, and I should say in the Fusion Flamenco course, there's a total system for doing this that will absolutely break open your ability to do this. But you can start right now and get some incredible results in just a couple of weeks if you do this every day. So please, this insight is really cool. So let me just give you an example of what we do here. Let's say you know the first position cage shape of the A minor scale, right? And this could be a 3-note per string shape, could be anything. You just know the A minor shape in whatever, right? So, but you take only 2 strings, and I take the B string and the high E string, and I know the 6 notes up there, right? And I can play those. But now I'm going to have the A and the D whip by in the background. So, and you need a looper pedal for this. And if you don't have one already, I suggest you get one. So I'm just going to try out the different notes here. I'm just going to start with the high E string. Oh, that note, that was the good one, right? Fits both chords. So let's try the second one in the 7th fret on the high E string. Interesting, but you know, it's not really home or totally relaxed over any other chords. Let's try the third one. Oh. Okay. Really cool. Okay, so now I start creating slow melodies. This is the process. Over those 2 chords. Right? And I really listen for when does this sound good and when is it kind of dissonant, or do I want it to be dissonant? So I get to know each note in this particular little 6-note shape really well up against these 2 chords, right? And then once I'm really home there, I can go on to the next string here, which the notes are in the 5th, the 6th, and the 8th fret. So I try that first one. Sounds kind of interesting over the D, really good over A. So I just get to know it. You don't even have to know if it's an A or D, just recognize. Oh, the next one is really... And what happens is you naturally get to know these notes because you're punished when you play a note that doesn't sound good. So you naturally go to the next one. Let me try the third one in the 8th fret on the B string. And then back to the E string again. Right? And you just sit there and listen and play and listen and play, and then suddenly you realize that you have total control over this little area with these 2 chords. So what's the next step? Introduce another chord from this key. Let's go to the G, and let's, to heck with it, let's try the F as well, right? So we go, and then D minor, and then G major, and the F. Top string again. Oh, that 7th fret sounded really good with the G. This is the note that works over both chords. F. Oh, that last note sounded really good over F. So A minor, D minor, G, okay, and F. Right? So whenever I know what note is really cool to end on, I use it as a note I'm resting on, and the others on the string as something I'm using as spice, right? I don't want to rest on them because it sounds dissonant, but... Ah. Okay, next string, right? I got this under control. Sounds good. Ah. Ah. A. D. Ah. G. F, right? So it's basically up and down. If I hit the note that sounds really melodic, really good. Okay. So now I got it. So by just meditating like this and really feeling the chords, and you don't have to know what they are. That's the beauty of this. So what am I learning then? I don't know what note to play or what chord. Is it the first, the second, and the third chord? What is it? You don't have to know. Your ear is guiding you because, and this is the key insight, if you got like a string of 7 notes, right, then if you build chords from that string, which is the minor scale, you build the first chord by taking the A of the A minor scale, and then you take every other note, every second note, and then you play them together. So I take the A, not the B, I take the C, I skip the D, and then I go for the E. That gives me 3 notes with 1 note in between them that sounds like this. And if I play them together, I get this sound, which is an A minor chord. But the cool thing is that now I derived 3 notes from my 7-note scale, which is almost half the notes, right? So if I don't hit on this string of notes, if I don't hit the right note or the note that sounds home, then the next one is very likely in the scale, the next one up or down is very likely to be a chord note, right? It's almost 50-50. So if let's say I have an E minor, right? And I start playing a note. Oops, you hear that? Sounds like, So chances are, the next note on that same string will sound good. The one, one step up on the string sounds a little bit better. And as long as I'm resolving it into something that sounds good, then people won't, they'll think that you're supposed to do that. And you are, right? You pick a note and then you go up and down. And that's another skill that appears in your head when you do this, because you get used to whoops, you do 1 step up, whoops, 1 step back on that same string, right? Whenever you're playing something that doesn't work. So let me just play the whole chord progression here. Right? Now I have so many chords going by in the background. This is, of course, at a later stage. You want to really rest on each chord and feel what notes sound really good. But once you've been doing this for a while, you don't have to know what chords are being played in the back. You just know it's the A minor scale, right? Anywhere. So what is going on here? Well, I know the scale as I just described in every detail here across the fretboard. And whenever I'm playing something that doesn't sound just right, my brain automatically goes up 1 note or down 1 note immediately. If it doesn't sound, and that's just intuitively instant reaction to anything that doesn't sound exactly like I want. And the gist of those two, or the collective thing here, is that then you can create melodies. That's the 2 skills, right? So you can do this with the Kate shape. You can do this with any shapes. But in the Fusion Flamenco program, you get the first week of Fretboard Freedom, which is an ingenious system for how to build total freedom across the neck. Everybody who ever went into that program came out with the conclusion that this should be the standard way of learning scale shapes. And it came about like a flash, a light bulb over my head in the car one day when I was really focused on how can you create a system for how to learn scales across the fretboard. And the Fretboard Freedom system works for any scale. It's a simple way of laying it out, and you're never going to look at the fretboard in the same way ever again, because it just totally changes. You say, it's logical. It's right there, right? And once you start combining that very logical system with this method, then the whole work you have to do in these shapes is just reduced by an amazing amount. And so why aren't you teaching me that now, Claus? Well, because, I have to be here. I'm doing this full time, so we got to have a little give and take here if this is going to work, right? But I really hope you can take this and totally go all the way with every shape you know, getting to know the scale across the fretboard. And you can do that in a couple of months if you do this each and every day and really get but make sure you stay in one area for long enough to be able to play over all the chords of A minor. And the chords of A minor is A minor, B half diminished, C major, D minor, E minor or E major, depending on, look up the theory of that, the E minor or the minor theory and the dominant chord. Don't have time to go into that now. The F major and the G major. And then here comes the A minor again. And you can play those chords on your looper. Play any chord like D minor. And that's the 4th chord of A minor. Right? And then just practice playing in a little secluded area on the fretboard, getting really used to the sound of it, of that chord, the 4th step chord in the A minor, then take another chord, and pretty rapidly, it'll seem like this is a long process. It'll take years, Claus, but it won't. I promise you, once you are really good at just playing over D minor with the A minor scale or the A minor with the A minor scale, right? Once you're really good at one chord, the next one's going to be a little easier. Then you take the next chord within that key, and it's going to be a lot easier. And suddenly, the next one is even easier, and suddenly you're just playing, and you don't care what chords are coming in the background. You're just playing. And you have that sweet skill of being able to create melodies in the moment. You're going to make people weep when they hear you play because, oh, it's so beautiful, right? And it all comes from you. It's all your creativity in the moment. It's quite amazing, and it's well worth the work here. So please use this little method, and then I hope to see you in the next video. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.